my jazz friends all over the world. Today I'll be showing you my chord melody arrangement of Dear Old Stockholm. Please give this video a fat thumbs up and share the video so it gets seen by many others. And now let's get started. We're in the key of D minor and we have an AABA song form, and the A sections are 8 bars long while the B section is only 4 bars. And we have a lot of repetition, so this is actually really easy to learn. Let's start. We start with a D minor triad. We have a lot of triads, or I arranged it in a lot of triads in the beginning so it's easier to play and still sounds awesome. So that's a D minor triad here with the D being on top. Then we go to another D triad. This one derived from this whole chord, and it's actually played over a B half diminished. You can play the bass too if you want, but I don't. Melody, and then we have a 2-5, E half diminished. That's coming from this E half diminished chord that you probably know or should know. We play a 9th instead of the 3rd and an 11th on top, and we don't play the root. So what we get is this, it's actually a piano voicing, E half diminished 9-11. It sounds really cool. And by context, the ear can knows the root, so we don't need the root. And then going to the 5, A7 sharp 5. It's an A altered chord with the root being on top. Okay. Now we go over to more triads or triad style. Just 3 notes, I mean. G minor 6 is the next. Here we have G minor and the 6th is on top. So I just play the upper 3 notes. Upper 3 strings. Go with your ring finger so you can glide over there. Back. And then a C triad, simple C triad. This comes from this chord, upper 3 notes. Melody, that's a C7 actually, because here's the B flat, the 7th. And then you glide into that F major 7, the resolution chord. And then we have a 4 chord, B flat, with the A on top. I could go like this, but this is a little jumpy, and you need to flip your wrist completely. So what I chose instead is this more comfortable here, more comfortable chord here, B flat major 7 it is, but an inversion with the D in bass. Much better to play than, but you can choose this one either. There's so many ways to arrange a chord melody song really. And that was it for phrase 1 already. Here it is at slow tempo. Check out my 35 beginner chord melody jazz standards if you want to add some real popular standards to your repertoire. You get the PDF tabs and the Guitar Pro tabs, including standard music notation, and of course you get all the detailed video tutorials. Grab yours now. Phrase 2 is just 2 bars and it's a 2-5. Again, E half diminished going to A7. Here is our E half diminished. I play the bass first because the melody starts on one end, so play an open E string. Let's take advantage of that. And then play this regular E, excuse me, E half diminished chord. Then melody, F sharp. Here's the 9th again, by the way. So it's even in the melody. It's really cool because naturally there would be a flat 9 in that E half diminished scale. Okay, so now we go to A7 flat 9 in the shape of a diminished chord, G diminished in this case. And people who watch my videos regularly know this already. In chord melody, we use that so many times. We play a diminished shape over an A7 altered chord, A7 flat 9 to be specific. This here, the G, is the flat 7th. A7, that's the flat 7th, start a diminished chord, G diminished, and it's an A7 flat 9, okay? Make sure when you play that diminished chord that the low E string is not ringing anymore. Kind of stop it with your palm simultaneously to playing the A7 flat 9. Then I play the A. With the index finger I sometimes already borrow it because that's the more clever option actually. Just play the A on top and then followed by the D minor 7 that you just play until the F, the B string. Twice. And then a melody, okay? And that's it. Here is phrase 2 at slow tempo. Phrase 3 is actually the first ending of the A section, and it's just 2 bars. And again, we have a 2-5, E to A, but that E half diminished is now being replaced by a tritone sub, B flat 7. That's a tritone away, dominant chord. And also this is not altered because it does not resolve. The melody is an E, so we get a B flat 7, flat 5. And that's also the usual way to go, even if the melody weren't E. So this is very common, that's why I'm explaining it to you, that B flat to A movement instead of E to A. Okay, so we have a B flat 7, flat 5. An embellishment for the melody. What I do is I play a hammer and a pull. Then I hit this string, don't slide it. I mean, you probably could, but back to E. And then to B flat 13, melody. Then the F is in a melody. Go with your pinky and then you go to a C sharp diminished. And remember what I explained to you before, it's for A7 flat 9. This time we start on the 3rd of the chord. A, the 3rd, major 3rd is C sharp. So now we have a C sharp diminished, which by the way is the exact same thing as that G diminished we had before. It's just higher. It's the same, it's just an inversion. So, and let it ring. That was it actually. Again, 3, 4. Phrase 4 is the second ending. So what you have to do is you have to repeat phrases 1 and 2. That's the first part of the A section. And now you don't play phrase 3 again because that was the first ending. You skip to phrase 4 now, which is the second ending. It's a little different because we need to go to B section, so we usually have different chords there. We start with the same chord, same thing, same figure. But now we don't go to B flat, but to A7. And if you learned something today, then this is that we can use diminished chords. Now we start on the E. E diminished over A7. That's the 5th. We had started from the 7th, from the 3rd. Now we play from the 5th. Right? E diminished is A7 flat 9. Then I use my index to bar over to that F, because then I just can glide down to the resolution chord D minor 7 with the D on top. It's a little sometimes hard to fret. If you can't, use your whole index finger to bar, but just play the middle 4 strings, okay? And that was it. Now here it is. No, sorry, there's something missing. We need the C9 at the end, okay? Because that's the 5 chord that goes to the F in the B section, okay? So this one needs to be added. Here is the entire phrase number 4. 3, 4. You can help to keep the free videos of this channel running by donating via the thanks button below the video, or become a paying member and enjoy perks. The B section only has 4 bars. Usually we have 8, so this is very nice, just 4 bars for a change. And we're changing to F major now. I said the tune is in D minor, which it is. The major relative is F major, and this gives it a brighter sound. And we basically just have a turnaround, 1 6 2 5, and 1 6 and the 2 5 that goes to the A section. So we go from that C, we resolve to F major. Now we had this as a D minor, so you might wonder, why is this now F? First of all, because the bass plays F in a backing track, and secondly, because this is also an F6, right? This is the upper part of an F6. D minor triad lives in the F6. Then we repeat this, and now it's really a D minor in the backing track. So it's 1 6 F D minor. Going to that beautiful A on top with the 2 5 now. G minor 9. Here's your root. G minor, and this is the 9th. Then you go to the G and C9, all the way through to the G. Okay? Beautiful. That's 2 bars. Now we repeat that. And the C on top, and now we play a 2 5 that leads us back to the A section, which started with exactly a D minor 7. So the 2 5 of D minor is E half diminished to A. I play this E half diminished if you have an E on top. It's really tricky for some people to harmonize that, but you just take an inversion. So I start not with the E on bottom, but with the B flat on bottom. And here is your root on top, because it's the melody. We can change that. And then I go to A7 flat 5 in the shape of a C sharp diminished chord. You already know that. So see how differently we can play that from this, E half diminished to A. Because the melody needs that E on top, we need to rearrange that. Cool, sad sound actually. All right, and that was it. And here's the whole B section. 1 2 3. For the A3 section, please repeat phrase number 1 again. That's the first 4 bars of the A section. And now we jump to a different ending, the coda, which is the ending for A3 now. We have E half diminished, and now there's a lot of stuff going on here. A lot of embellishments. 8, 10, 8 hammer pull to the left and back here. We had this in a different position. Going to the 5 chord A7, starting from G. That's the 7th of the chord, remember? G diminished. We had this G diminished down here. Now we have it up here because it's easier to reach here. Going down to A, resolving to D minor 7, only up until the F, please. Then the same embellishment again. That's 6 to 8, hammer pull, 5th fret and back to 6, yeah? Then D minor again all the way up to the E string. Okay. And then we have that B flat 7 flat 5 again, with this embellishment again. And then we go to A 7 flat 9, which is E diminished. Bar over to the F, okay, and resolve to D minor 7. So the last one is really tricky, so I'll play this really slowly for you. 3, 4. check out my chord melody playlist up here on my YouTube channel for so many more chord melody tutorials for you to learn. If you see a hype button below the video, please click it. It doesn't cost anything, but it hypes my video so it gets ranked a little higher. Thanks for that. Please also give this video a fat thumbs up, share the love and the knowledge, and I hope to see you next week. Servus, bye-bye.